What's up, y'all? This is Amato with Amato Tarot. I just wanted to do a video to explain why we do our readings for and why we watch our readings for our sun, moon, rising, and Venus. I've been learning from a lot of different tarot readers on YouTube, and I know some tarot readers will only say that it's your sun, moon, and your rising, which is very much true. That's our big three. I just wanted to give my insights on why the Venus needs to be included in it, and just share some of the things that I've been experiencing as far as astrology goes and what I've been studying and learning from astrology, right? So our sun is our birthday, right? The sun stays in a sign for about 30 days, right? So a lot of times people associate themselves when people ask you what your sign is, and you'll say your sun sign. But something that I learned much later after studying astrology for a while is that we're not really our sun sign, right? Our sun is a general flavor. A sun is definitely one of the readings that you need to experience in a tarot reading, and it's definitely part of what I like to call your big four, right? Sun, moon, rising, and Venus. But my experience with being a teacher and being around a lot of people, students and adults, right? Like you can meet someone who has the same exact birthday as you and be totally different people, right? And that's just because we have our whole chart, we have all of the different aspects of our pattern, we have all the different astrological ingredients inside of us. But it's something that took me a lot longer after studying a lot of different astrologers, is that we're not really our sun sign, right? Now, to get deeper into it, which I won't, if you have certain planets that aspect your sun, then that may definitely bring out that sun energy even more, right? So if you have obviously anything in your big four, or your Mars aspecting your sun, or your Jupiter aspecting your sun, even Neptune, right? Then you're going to have more of a flavor of that sun energy in your chart. But it's something that I wanted to share. So you're always going to be watching the reading for your sun sign. And you're obviously going to take whatever messages the tarot reader gives to you based off of anything in your big four. So I just wanted to share that, right? Because it's one of the things that isn't mentioned enough, that, a lot of times we are more our moon or our rising, or maybe even our midheaven, than we are our sun. Especially, I've known people who have, like a sun in Aquarius and not much else in Aquarius, right? Like they may have one other planet in Aquarius in their natal chart, and it's like they take on the flavors more of their moon or their Venus or their Mars. So that's what I wanted to say about the sun, right? So you're definitely always going to watch your reading for the sun, but just remember that we are not really our sun sign, even though that's always been the common belief. And when you ask someone what their sign is, they're going to go off of their birthday, right? But we're so much more than that. Right. So and then we come to your ascendant or your rising sign. And, this is the thing that you rise towards in your life. Right. Like this is a point of destiny for you in your chart. This is a part of your chart that asks you to really learn the qualities of your ascendant, to really embody them, to really co-create with it, to use it as often as you can, because it's one of the parts of your identity and your astrological self that you show most of the time. I like to think of the ascendant as when you're not really feeling the most comfortable in certain situations, then you're showing your ascendant, right? It's been referred to as the mask. I don't really like thinking about it as a mask, because that's just like a superficial way of thinking about your rising sign. Your rising sign is a point of destiny. Your rising sign is one of the most progressive places that you can go in your chart. And a lot of people won't even tap into the powers of their chart if they haven't tapped into the powers of their rising sign, right? And it's something that you may not be too familiar with throughout your life, but the more you learn about yourself, the more that you understand what these characteristics are and you co-create with them, then you rise towards your destiny with the rising sign, right? And then you have your moon. One of the best ways that I like to describe the moon is when you are alone and you close the door and you feel totally secure, right? You are in your moon. and you are your moon sign. It's the place. It's one of the places you go to where you're the most comfortable. A lot of times we are our moon when we're by ourselves, right? A lot of people like to describe it as like your internal emotions, how you process your emotions. The moon is really like who you were when you were born, right? Like you embodied more of your moon sign than you probably did your sun sign when you were born and when you were young. And part of the moon's journey, or part of our journey through our moon, is that the moon placement that we have oftentimes gets interrupted, or a lot of the qualities are not given to us. It's a lot of our needs, right? It's a place where we feel secure in our moon sign. So there's a lot of different aspects to that, I'm not going to get into in this video, but know that that's what your moon is, right? And when you're usually by yourself, you're in your moon energy. But again, it's another part of your chart that you can co-create with, right? So it's like if it's a part of your chart that you don't really know too much about, then if once you start to learn about it and embody these characteristics and this energy of your moon sign, then it's another layer of depth that you add to yourself astrologically. And then we have your Venus, right? So Venus is awesome. Venus is your love planet. Venus is your receptive energy. Venus is your feminine. I don't want to ever say that like you should watch your Venus tarot reading and expect it to be about love or anything that you want to receive, right? Venus is another powerful placement in your chart for you to co-create with, because again, it's the energy that you have when it comes to love and relationships and what you expect to receive from other people, right? It's what you find beautiful in your Venus sign. So, the chart is something that progresses throughout your life, both the light and the shadow of each of the different planets and the signs and that you have in those planets. And these are all of our ingredients, right? And the beauty of astrology is it gives us the opportunity to understand ourselves better, right? It's this powerful lens that really once you become an astrologer and you see someone's chart and you just describe to them based off what you know off of their chart, and they're just like, whoa, how did you know that? Because, I always explain to people that for me as an astrologer, I've just basically memorized, all the meanings of the different signs and all of the planetary placements and what those planets represent. And then from there, it's just like adding all the notes together. And really a lot of the times it's very, very accurate, right? Because the beauty of astrology is that it really helps us to embody our light, our joy, our happiness, our kindness, our compassion, our strength, all of these powerful things that we have in our light. And then it shows us our shadow. Right? And shadow are just the parts of us that are hidden, the parts of us that are repressed, right? It's where our darkness comes from. It's where our anger comes from. It's where a lot of problems exist in our lives because we're not diving into our shadow and we're not healing our shadow, right? So, that's a little bit about light and shadow and about Venus. But again, this is why you watch your readings for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus, because those are in what I like to call our big four in astrology. And for you to dive into the deeper parts of your chart, it's really important for you to work on existing with your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus much better. And once you embody the planets and the signs in your chart and understand those energies, then you're going to really tap into the power of astrology even more. Right? So I hope you enjoyed this video and keep watching, and thank you for tuning in. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.